Hello everybody! What I want to talk today about is energy. I know, lots of people talk about energy in lots of very strange ways, but I'm gonna try to make this really simple. For one moment, let's just suspend our disbelief for a second just to get the point across. I would really appreciate it if you did, because I promise you, if you do, you might really gain something from this. Maybe, maybe not. Every single thing in the universe, every single person, every single thought, every single feeling, every single being, every single thing that's alive, inanimate, animate, all is made up of matter. What is matter made up of? What is everything made up of? Energy. When you break down every single thing, it's really truly made up of energy. And energy interacts with each other. And whether or not you believe in the law of attraction, that like attracts like, or magnetism like that, we're gonna put that aside for a second. There are thousands of law of attraction videos and I'm really not interested in doing one of them. I myself have used a lot of manifestation tools and found them to be really helpful and awesome and incredible and brought amazing things into my life, but that's not even the point that I really want to get across right now. What I want to get across is it's really simple, but it's actually a huge shift and it's gonna change your entire life. At least I think so. So here's basically what it is. In the universe, there tends to be polarities. There tends to be good and there's bad. There's dark and there's light. There's give and there's take. This last thing, this idea that there's always a give, a push and a pull, a give and a take with things is really what I want to get on. So if you think about energy, right? Energy is abundant, it's everywhere, it's literally everything. It's in the air, it's in the frequency, it's vibration, it's every single thing, okay? Now, there are certain people, there are certain feelings, there are certain thoughts, there are certain patterns. Every single thing has a certain range of motion, right? It's either pushing or it's pulling. It's either giving or it's taking. Really simply, think about, my favorite way to think about it is like in Harry Potter when Harry and Voldemort are like battling with their swords and there's like the green coming out of one sword and the red coming out of the other and it's like fighting. It's like this battle of like, no, my spell will win, no, my spell will win, and the energy is like going back and forth. That is literally what is happening in every single exchange that you have. Think about every single fight that you've ever had and you're talking to someone. It's literally an exchange of energy, and certain people are doing certain things subconsciously sometimes to take your energy and to give them. And then you also, regardless of other people, the way that you act, the way that when you walk out into the world, you are either taking in energy or you're giving it out. And this is so crucial. So crucial. I myself used to not understand this. I didn't know this. I had no idea. So what I would do is I would absorb, I would take in a lot of energy from the outer world. And that meant other people, and that meant TV and food and music and radio and talking to other people and magazines and like grocery store. Like literally it would happen all the time. I would just be like bombarded and taking it in, and it felt like you might have heard the word of empath, and that's very similar to this. I think a lot of empaths, this is really what's going on and they don't know about this, so they're just calling themselves an empath, which is a wonderful step to really understanding it. But truly, this happens to so many of us and we don't realize the ways that we are losing our own power. And so we are absorbing, right? We are literally taking in all this stuff from the outer world, and it's harming us. It's literally harming us because unfortunately, we're not living in a perfect world. We're living in a world where a lot of mixed energies exist, where like there's a lot of negativity out there and we're literally taking it in. You can even think about like a dust buster. I wish I like had one. If only I cleaned more. All right, so imagine that I have a dust buster and I'm like walking around with the dust buster and like, you know how they like attract dirt because that's like what they're made out of, and they pick up dirt on things that they touch. Okay, so imagine you like take a dustbuster outside. If you came back home at the end of the day, it would be full with all this dust all over it. And that's what so many of us are doing. We're walking outside without protection and we're just picking up all this shit, and then we come home and we lie in bed and our hearts start fucking pumping and we're anxious and we're depressed and we can't figure out what is going on. So much of the time, it's not even you. It's just the stuff that you picked up from the world. And so what you have to do is, one, realize that that might be happening, and then try your hardest to stop allowing it to happen. So you can look up for protection mechanisms. You can even like do meditations where you envision like an orb around you and just meditate on that. But the truth of the matter is that the best way to protect yourself is to get stronger. And by that, I mean, don't just be reactionary. Don't just be walking around through life allowing anything to just come to you and happen to you. So either we can be passive and we could kind of victimize ourselves and we could just be walking around and think things are happening to us, which is a totally different state of consciousness and different awareness, or we can see that we actually have a say in the matter. and that we actually are doing things to change the world. We're changing ourselves. We are making decisions that are impacting us and affecting other people as well. And so when you think about it that way, right, there's a difference. You can choose, instead of absorbing, you can choose to radiate. You can choose to give out. You can choose to send. You can choose to emit. And that means you can choose to walk around, and if you want to feel love, think love. Think, intentionalize love. Love, I'm sending love out. Love, love, radiate it out. Emit love from your field, and that is what will vibrate throughout everything else. It's like a ripple in the water. If you throw a pebble, you know how it ripples out? It's literally what you are. You are a pebble in the frickin' ocean of being of energy. So you can choose to emit, and I would really suggest you try choosing to emit rather than absorb. And you can even totally test this out. Don't even take my word for it. I want you to test it out yourself. You know how like you wake up in the morning and you stub your toe and then you're like, oh fuck, I stubbed my toe. And then you're walking to class and you keep on seeing bad people or like people that you hate, and you keep on like thinking bad things, and then you're like, oh, this person's judging me. And then you get to class and you're there late. And then the professor yells at you, and then they give you an assignment that you suck at, and then you have to like walk out, and then you get into a fight with your friend, and then you're angry, and then you're driving in your car and you keep on getting every single red light. And oh my God, every single red light keeps on getting at me, and why is it happening to me? Okay, those days happen because subconsciously you are emitting out into the field of being, of awareness, because we're all one big thing. You are emitting out this vibe of like, shit sucks, life is bad, things are happening to me. And so yeah, that's what you're gonna get back. But instead, you know those days where you're like, man, everything's going my way? That like really happens. Like, why is everything going people's way? So like, it really happens. Sorry that I keep on, I'm so strange. But anyways, those days really happen for people. You can even do it where you wanna set an intention. If you don't believe me, set a really weird intention. Be like, frogs. Frogs. I want to see frogs. And so if you're thinking frogs, I promise you, you're gonna start noticing frogs. You just will. It's just the way that it works. It's pretty weird, but it happens. Like, try doing this, do some experiments at home. Okay, so a really great book that has tons and tons of experiments like this that you are going to freaking love is E Squared by Pam Grout. It's really fascinating. It's like really incredible. Even if you don't believe in quantum physics, even if you don't believe in this energy stuff, even if you don't believe, like, you're like, oh, this bitch is crazy. Whatever it is, I swear this is really crazy interesting book, and you should totally try it out. It's really wild, and there's so many books out there also that like there are so many books that are proving this and are giving you examples of like really how it happens. It's freaking amazing. And so I invite you to try it. I invite you to see what it might be like to emit rather than absorb. I think you might find it's really, really cool, and it makes you really happy. But definitely let me know. Definitely. Don't take my word for it. Seriously, I want you to do it yourself. I'm not doing this to like get positive feedback. I'm doing this for you to have a positive life. So try it out and let me know how it goes. Much love to you, and I'll see you next time. And yeah, much love, many blessings, my loves. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you.